Everyone, and welcome back to another video here on the channel. So if you saw last week's aquarium video, we were doing something in another game. That game is called Fishery. Now this week we're actually going to be trying out a different aquarium game called Aquarium Designer. There's a couple of other games like this out there, but just wanted to give these both a try out and see which one I liked a little bit better. But today we're going to go ahead and jump in and create a brand new aquarium. So if you haven't seen last week's, basically we're just going to be doing some aquascaping in this game, and I'll be switching back and forth between Fishery and Aquarium Designer, so that way we can just kind of play with some tanks, maybe give you all some inspiration, give myself some inspiration as well, and just see what needs to happen. For this game, it does have these two modes, realistic and casual. I'm probably going to do a lot in just the casual mode because this is going to just let me play a little bit more. I don't have to worry about fish and plants dying, water quality, whatever the case, right? So that way I can just jump in and do some casual gameplay. Last week we did kind of a small aquarium, or actually, well, we did a little bit of a larger aquarium actually. We did about a 55 gallon. So this is a 917. Yeah, so we did something akin to this. We just did a standard 55 in the other game. Let's see, what do we want to do today? I kind of want to save the huge for another week. I wonder, a 10 low, that's not bad. 10, are all these just 10 gallons? Huh. I think a 10 gallon could be really interesting. What does medium get up to? 18? So this is like a 20 low boy. Ooh, I think this is gonna be, yeah, I think this is gonna be fun. So let's just go ahead and call this Aquarium for now. We'll change the name once we get into it. But yeah, so as you can see, Aquarium Designer is a little bit more of a realistic look to the game than Fishery. Fishery has a little bit more of a cartoon to it, but there are a lot more fish in this game compared to Fishery, and there's a lot of different kinds. The quality is a little wonky, as you can see, and there's a few issues with some of the fish. Like, we check out the Oscar, you'll notice its back tail fin kind of just disappears when it's on its left side, but the right side is fine, completely a-okay. I'm gonna go ahead and start with the shaping tool, and I believe that deforms and this forms. Yes. So I'm going to do a little bit of a raised bed approach to this aquarium, so that way we can kind of move some stuff around and see how we like getting stuff situated. But I'm going to go ahead and just play around with the substrate and kind of get to a point where I like what it looks like. Okay, so something interesting I figured out is there's actually a like a cap on how high you can bring the sand up. So I actually went for kind of like a ledge type setup in this 20 long. So now, just to kind of show off this game a little bit, there's a lot of different rocks and even roots for different wood and all kinds of different stuff. There's also all these different sands and substrates, which are pretty cool. That looks a little funky. That's got some weird, yeah, that's not supposed to do that. But you can kind of pick whatever color you want and how you want to play with it. I really like just the sand, just the normal sand, because it looks the best. All of these kind of PNG files that are stretched out kind of hit and miss. But I definitely am not going to be using any decorations. If you've watched my in real life videos, you'll know that I'm not one for kind of the fake decorations type. But I also kind of want to challenge myself, and I want to stay away from wood. I lean on wood a lot in my dream aquariums, or the aquariums I really like, because it's really nice hardscape. And I want to see how much I can do just with stone and rocks. I don't know what plants I'm going to add in yet, because there's a bunch of different plants and they look awesome. I also don't know what kind of fish I'm going to add in yet, because it is only a 20 gallon. So I'm obviously going to keep it small and probably not a lot, but we'll see. We'll have to see and, you know, figure out what's going to happen in here. There's not really any inverts either. Can I do it from size? I cannot do it from size. That's unfortunate. Well, I'll play around with it. I'll figure out kind of just a look at what I want to see from this aquarium, and we'll play around. But I am going to move into the hardscape, and I really think I'm going to be going for more of a jagged rock look. So definitely those limestone that you saw up top. Those actually look pretty sick. Can I... All right, that's the tilt. So you can make things bigger and smaller. And... Huh. Yeah, I'll play around with this. This is going to be actually really cool. All right, so I'm fairly happy with how this looks so far. So again, not leaning on the crux or the safety, so to say, of just putting a big old piece of wood in the middle of this tank and maybe some small rocks around it, but just going with the hardscape, only with the rocks. So now we need to start looking into other bits of this, like the plants, for example. So we do have great, you know, floating plants, so we can put some duckweed up on top. And what I like about this is even though there might not be a lot of variations, you can kind of create your own variations with the different material by making some of this duckweed smaller, some of it bigger, all kinds of stuff like that. But yeah, it's gonna be good. There is a little bit of a note that I do want to put, that in fishery, if there was ever anything near the glass, it would kind of just cut it off. In this, or if it went above to some capacity in this, you kind of get just messed up with it, where like, hey, the hitbox is out of the water, you got to shrink that down a little bit. And it also depends on how you're looking at it and where it's all at. So there's some rules to it. Even like the roots have to be able to fully go into it. So we'll play around with it and kind of figure out. I do want to also figure out what kind of fish, because I still haven't really sat here and thought about it, but I want something vibrant. I want something that's gonna snap. Maybe actually doing a betta fish, that's not a bad idea, actually. Huh. Maybe we'll do a betta fish. That would actually be kind of interesting. Oh, or some killifish. Oh, or an apistogramma. That might actually be the ticket. A triple red apisto. That might be the ticket. I think we're going to do apistos. All right, let's play around with this a little bit more, though. So something I'm running into right now is I'm trying to get this Java fern to look good in here, but all I can do is just rotate it. I can't do anything else with it. Like, I can't do it on an axis or anything like that. So I kind of just have to either let it clip through or just put it straight up and down somewhere else. But I would kind of like the Java fern to be off of something, not planted, because it has the I can't think of what it's called right now. Not the rhizome, or maybe it is the rhizome, but basically, like, as you can see here on this Anubias, it has that benefit of growing on something, not in something. And it looks like that might not be understood fully. Huh. Interesting. The way that this is all kind of like put. So if I click that there, yeah, I guess that kind of roots in a very odd and specific way. Huh. Yeah, we'll have to play with this a little bit and kind of see what we like and what we don't like. But that's something right there. Got some Anubias on that rock, almost like a cool little vine going all around. But that's something. We're on to something. Okay, so I wasn't sure how I was gonna like this. I think we're almost there. I think I just need to shrink all of these a little bit. But I think I'm gonna go with, like, down here, this section before the ridge, and even right here maybe, just having it be completely covered, like everything but this ridge. And I didn't mean to delete that sword, but honestly, it's probably a good idea that I did. Let me delete these other ones too. But I think we're gonna do just dwarf hairgrass all the way through this area, and just see how it pops a little bit. See how it plays with the scenery and see how we like it. Because I've never actually done like a carpeted aquarium in the traditional sense, real life or in one of these games. So we'll kind of play with the carpeting plants. Maybe not dwarf, maybe baby tears. I don't know. I kind of want something in between hairgrass and baby tears. Something that's insane. That I don't. That's a lot. Okay then. Yeah. I that was yeah. I don't know. I'll have to play with this a little bit and see which ones I like. But it's looking like it's gonna be kind of slim pickings. So probably this dwarf baby hairgrass. Yeah, maybe we just don't put it all the way up to the glass. Maybe that's the right answer. You know, now that it's a little shorter and it's not all the way up to the glass, I kind of like it. It looks nice. I don't know how I feel about this middle section. I might actually recess this middle section and put these rocks all together and then still like line up all of the hair grass here. I think that's actually going to be what I do, just so that way it's kind of uniform here, and then there's got the ridge up there. But I think what I'm gonna do is, I think the showpiece fish, and they don't have females, they only have the male variant that has the cockatoo plume. So you're usually, at least from my understanding, if you were to have a 20-gallon like this, you would have, and I have 220 highs, but this is a 20 low, which is a little bit better. But I have 220 highs right now in real life that have Apistos, and they're in 2 trios, 2 females, 1 male, and they breed perfectly fine. They have plenty of space to conquer and divide. So I would put a male and 2 females. However, they don't have any female Apistos. So I'm going to put 3 males in here. But again, I would not do that regularly. I may put some other dither fish in here as well. I did some neons in the last video, so maybe I'm going to stay away from the neons, but I'm going to just do a kind of final look through. I'm going to do some more planting here, especially now that nope, leave that where it's at, especially now that this is removed where it needs to be. Let's go ahead and move these rocks a little bit closer, actually. So I'm going to put some dwarf hair grass in here. Do a little bit more planting on the planting scape, because I definitely want some reds in here, and then we'll make a final decision about the fish. Okay, so we've added some more to it. So we've got all the hair grass lined out. We've got some giant val here. We went ahead and put some Java moss over on this rock just to add a little bit more green to the middle. We have all the Anubias on this still here growing up. And then we went ahead and we added in some of this dwarf hygrophila to this side over here, and then also some red repens. And on the right side here, I made the red repens kind of the centerpiece, so to say, and then we put the hygrophila on the sides of it. And then on this side, I did kind of the opposite, where I did the hygrophila in the middle and then the red repens on the outside. And then on top, just because it was kind of interesting, I did a West Indian sponge plant, and I threw that right on top of the water to make it all nice and clean. So now we're pretty much good for adding in the fish. So again, I think I'm gonna go with the triple red Apisto, but instead of doing a trio, I'm gonna do 1 male, and I want to see just how big of a fish that is. Why are you outside the tank, buddy? What are you? What is he doing? He's all the way out. Okay, hold on. Maybe something just messed up. Okay, let's see. Is he going to swim outside of the tank this time? Or is he going to be a good little fishy and stay within the tank? Okay, I think whatever just happened there was a freak accident. And just the AI decided that the whole table was the tank and not the actual tank itself. But he looks gorgeous in this tank. I keep doing that. He looks absolutely gorgeous in this tank. As you'll notice maybe in a moment here, yeah, some of the colliding doesn't exactly work fantastic. This is a full release game to my understanding, where Fishery is a not full release, but he kind of just will swim through and clip through some things. That's kind of cool with him down in the hair grass there. But now it's time to figure out what peaceful little fish are going to dither with this guy. That fish has a hole in its tail. Yeah, this game's interesting. And I think I found our perfect match. So I don't want to do Rummy Nose. I don't want to do a Neon Tetra, but a Mosquito Rasbora I think is going to be a perfect fit. I think it's going to be well worth it. I was thinking about doing some Cories, but it's just such a small tank and there's so much foliage that I don't think Cories would like all that greenery to have to root around in. And also in a real world scenario, that would also mean that the hair grass would probably get pulled up constantly, especially if it's a brand new tank. And the Mosquito Rasbora kind of fits this specific Apisto pretty well. So we're going to go with a school of 6 to start with. And I want to see what that looks like. And I want to see if they AI and school together. It looks like those are. And that one's off by itself. And now that one's off by itself. And these 4. So they kind of school / shoal together. That's not horrible. Let's go ahead and add. Let's add 2 more. That's going to be 8 Mosquito Rasbora and 1 Apisto. I know this is a fake game, but I still don't want to overcrowd too much. Yeah, I really think that that's it. I don't really want, they don't really have any inverts, so I can't put like a snail or anything in there. That's a very blue angelfish with a really messed up head. Yeah, these models are, man, they're interesting, all right. Yeah, Aquarium Designer is an interesting game. I really like the way it looks, but on the flip side, part of me is like, I think I'll deal with the fishery cartooniness just because. But here, can I actually, what is this call fish function? Will they all just come over to it? Kind of, I guess. Who knows? I don't know. That's interesting though. But yeah, here it is. I mean, here is our finalized tank. I like it. It's a little bit of an oddball throw together. Again, I kind of wanted to play outside of my strengths and not just put a giant, beautiful piece of wood in the middle of the tank, but instead do some hardscape with some rocks and such. But I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. But if you did enjoy, make sure to like this video and subscribe. Go ahead and comment down below what kind of fish tank you want to see me do next. Next week, we're going to jump back into fishery instead of using Aquarium Designer and play around a little bit more in that setup. There's a little bit more utility in that game compared to Aquarium Designer. There's just a little bit more to it, a little bit more customizability, less fish, but it's also a pretty sick game. But again, if you did enjoy, make sure to like this video, subscribe. Check out our Wednesday uploads of our real life fish room and our other furry and spiky and scaly friends. And until next time, I'll see you in the next video.